Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we are going to be doing day 10 of our 13 days of Halloween featuring Camellia Angelcova. Today we're going to be working in 50 Halloween mandalas, and today's item of the day is jack-o'-lantern. So I picked this fun page, which I'm excited to color. I do have an idea for a color palette. I want to use some pinks and some oranges and black and white basically, and then maybe a little bit of gold thrown in there. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I am going to first go through and color around the outside, I think, and then do all the, like the background in here, this little spider and the grass, and then we'll come back and do the hat and the pumpkin together, since that's kind of all jack-o'-lantern related. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on that, and I will talk to you guys again here in a second. Alrighty, so got the background and the little embellishments mostly done. I might go back in and add in some fun little stickles or gel pens or something like that, but right now we're just going to start with our pumpkin and the hat. So first, I'm going to go ahead and just use this Ohuhu. This is YR3. I'm just going to go ahead and color this whole pumpkin in with that color. Okay, next I'm going to use this Cool Gray 7 and do all of the hat. Except for right underneath there, I'm going to go ahead and color that a nice bright pink. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the same one that I used on that side. So I believe, oh no, I think this is the one I need. So this is RP6. It's a pretty dark pink. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to go, I'm going to color this whole hat in. I'm going to try really hard not to go over these little decorations on the hat because I'm going to try to use pencils and markers to color those in. So this might take me just a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and start it now and then probably just end up cutting to it finished here. But it's really nothing more than just putting alcohol marker down and avoiding all of those little details. All right, hat is all done. So my next step is going to be to add a little bit of color into the inside of the jack-o'-lantern here. We're going to do some pencil work for this part. So I got to grab a couple colors. Okay, so I've got like a lighter orange color and then a like an orangey yellow and a very light buttery kind of yellow. If you're curious, I'm using the Square Brute Fooner pencils. Really love these guys on my Amazon paper. They work well for me. So first I'm going to go through and I'm just going to add this orange color to the centers of where it would be, these areas right here would be darker. And I'm just gonna kind of, well, that's all gonna be dark just because I can do that. But if you think about it, the parts that are kind of on the edges here are gonna be catching a lot more light from the inside of the pumpkin than these parts in the shadows there. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this yellowy orange color and I'm just gonna shade outward from that. I love the way these Brute Fooners blend. Just works so well. All right, I'm gonna go back in one more time with my darker orange just to make things nice and dark in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the rest of the mouth and nose here. All right, and then on the inside of the pumpkin, I'm going to add in the yellow and this lighter yellow. So I'm going to think about the fact that, like, if there's a candle in here, so the glow is going to be right around in here. So this is going to be your lightest area, and then as you move outwards from that, it's going to get darker and darker. So I'm going to concentrate my darker, brighter yellow kind of towards the outside edges of the holes that are here. I might come back in and add like a little bit of a darker brownish yellow too to this, just to give a little bit of an extra glowy kind of look. With the lighter Brute Fooners, you do have to do a couple layers because they tend to not lay down as well for me on this Amazon paper. It works great in any other paper, but you know, this Amazon paper is one we have to constantly kind of battle with to get the right look here. Okay. All right. Well, I think I like that, so maybe we'll just go ahead and keep that. I'm not going to bring in another brownie yellow or anything. Okay. So that is our jack-o'-lantern inside. Now I'm going to focus on the outside. So I know that he's nice and bright, so we're just going to do a little bit of shading and then some highlighting also with these colors too. So I'm going to need my white Prismacolor, and then I'm also going to grab a couple of lighter yellows. So actually this 3 might work for what I'm wanting. I'm going to grab just a nice orangey brown color. So let me find this one. And so with my Brute Fooners, I do like to start with my darker colors. Typically, I'm going to add in one more yellow just in case I can get it all to work the way I want it, the way I'm thinking. Okay, so I am going to use this darker reddish brown color first, and just kind of where the shadows would be, I'm going to add in a nice shadow here. trying to pay attention to how the, when the pumpkin's divided like that, the center section here is going to be kind of not as shadowed. So like this part's going to be lighter, and then as you move to the sides of the pumpkin, your shadows start to go on the outside of the lines. And that's, you know, that's typically, you know, if your lighting is coming straight from the front. And I, you know, I'm not really worried about lighting. This is just kind of a generic way to color pumpkins for me. Okay. I get all of this shaded in. Okay, and then we're gonna, you can kind of see a few little like curves down here, so I'm just gonna extend those lines a little bit. I think there's probably one right about in there. All right, I'm gonna use this orangey brown color that I grabbed to blend that color out a little bit into this nice bright orange that we have going on. This is still a pretty bright, colorful jack-o'-lantern because, you know, I don't want him to be completely icky and gross because the background is so fun. Got so much pink going on. I want him to blend in pretty well. Not blend in, but, you know, kind of go with the rest of the page. All right. The other thing I need to do, which I just noticed, is I've got a little bit, so we're just going to color that orange. That should work, because there would be like a curve probably right there. So that should be orange, and then I'm going to go ahead and color it darker so that, there we go. Ooh, come back. Okay, so we've kind of got our shadow in there. Now I'm just using this orangey brown color to extend that color out just a little bit farther, even past the line that is drawn on there. And then I'm also going to come right along the edge of the bottom, but I'm not going all the way to the line. It's that thing where I kind of leave a little bit of a gap between where I'm coloring and the actual edge. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So just a very light, and actually I'm going to color that in. Just a very light line around the outside edge of the pumpkin, leaving that little bitty gap between where I'm coloring and the line. And I'm going to do that on the kind of highlighted sides as well. Just a little bit of a line there. Okay. So around the eyes and stuff, basically all of the yellow that you see is set back. So this is all kind of popped forward. So the way that I would really do that is I would probably have a little bit of shadow kind of underneath some of them, but a lot of this is going to be kind of, since it's not recessed, it's going to kind of be a little bit highlighted. So, but all of these parts down here, I think I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of shadow to those, and then maybe a little bit like on these teeth here, just right there, maybe a little bit there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to use this yellow color. So this is number 3. Again, I still have not gone through to do the, write down the color names. I've had several lovely viewers send me PDFs full of the names. I just have not taken the time to do it. So this isn't really adding a whole lot. And that's because Brute Fooners are not quite as opaque as your Prismacolors. Because if I was using a yellow Prismacolor in here, it would really kind of set off on top of that orange. But it does do a little bit on here. I'm going to put some on the inside of the eye here. I'm going to try with this yellow too and see if that does any better. Oh, that does a little bit better. Maybe it was just that yellow. So this is just me adding a little bit of color variation with this yellow. And as I'm doing my strokes, you'll see that I'm kind of trying to follow the direction that the pumpkin, like any texture would be. So as you get towards the outside, it curves more, and then when you're in the inside, it's kind of more straight up and down. All right, so let's see what we can do with this white now. So we're gonna highlight right around the eye here. We're gonna highlight a little bit above this. We're gonna highlight this section. Let's do along the teeth and then above the mouth here. And then on the tooth here. Okay. And then if I don't want that so white, I can go back over with my yellow and tone that down. So it's more of a warm color instead of bright white. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this like orangey brown color again, and I'm just going to randomly, I'm going to sharpen this first, actually. Okay, I'm just going to randomly kind of draw in just little texture lines. So you don't want to push hard. This is a very light, light touch on the paper, and just try to keep in mind the direction that the pumpkin kind of skin is going. So like I said, more curved on the outside and straight up and down more on the inside of the pumpkin. And this, like I said, it just gives it nice texture. I wonder if I can get any orange. Ooh, I can get a little bit of orange. So you can come in with an orange too. It doesn't do a ton, but you can see a little bit. At least I can. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that on camera at all. And then the other fun thing I like to do sometimes is I will come in with a darker brown and kind of just add little spots to my pumpkin. It just kind of adds a little touch of realism. I mean, this is 100% not real. I know that already, but I don't know. I like the added texture. Okay, so there's our pumpkin. He turned out pretty cute. Next, we're going to do the hat. And I think I'm going to do a dark pink here for the bow. So I'm going to use the same pink that I used on the inside of the hat. So let me color that really quick. All right. And I've got a nice pink here. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. Let's work on the little skull in here and crossbones, or skull and bones, I guess. I'm going to add a little bit of shadow just around in a couple places with my gray. Same here, just kind of around the outside edge, and then underneath the teeth here and in between the teeth, a little bit there. I did add some pink to this bone down here, so we could try that a little bit, just a little. Maybe add some cheeks. All right, and then I'm going to use my white Prisma to just kind of go over all of that. Okay, and then all right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight to the spider web back here. So we're just going to go along the top parts of these ones here. All right, I think that's dry now. So I'm going to use a nice pink. That is not dark enough. Let me find one of my other pinks. I guess this one's going to have to do it. This is just adding in the shadow here. I think I will do this color first, just to kind of tone down the real dark color that I'm putting on top of it. It won't be quite as dark. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. All right, and then I'm going to use my white pen, white Prisma to add in some highlights. Okay. Let's do that. The same thing on this inside part. I'm going to add in these same colors. And then again with my white Prisma, just a little bit of a highlight there. Okay, let's go ahead and do the hat. So I've got a couple of darker gray. I have a dark gray, my black, and a lighter gray, but I think I'm just going to stick with the dark gray. And I'm just going to do some simple shading. So anywhere where things overlap, it's going to get a little bit of shading. And then anything where things would look like they would have highlights are going to get some white highlights. And that is going to be it for the hat. And then we'll do and add in some fun stuff. So I have a couple of fun gel pens. I have this lighter pink Tiara pen and then two of these Linkshine pens. And I'm going to do the little, this little stuff here. I don't know why I can't talk. I'm going to have light pink stars. And then we'll do, let's do these orange moon swirly things. And then we'll have dark pink little polka dots all over the place. Yep, so I'm just going to do the rest of the hat. All right, a couple of other little bits that I want to add in. I want to add some black glaze to the skeleton's eyes and nose. I'm going to add some Stardust Jelly Roll. I'm going to turn my book. I'm going to add that to the spider web and the little piece coming out of the spider here. So all the webbing is going to get just a nice coat. Okay, got those little touches done. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stickles. I thought about doing a background, but I think I'm just going to leave it this time. It's a lot of color and I think it's good. So yeah, so I'm just going to add in some stickles. So I'm going to have this white, I think it's diamond. I'm going to do that on all the ghosts. And then I'm going to do this pink one, which is glam pink on the bats and the black around the circle. So I'm going to speed that up so you guys can see, but then we will be all done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add in some pink to this page. I'm just going to use this neon pink chalk pastel from the Mungyo set. I'm just going to do a little bit in the corners just to kind of bring the attention back to the center. Now I do have wet stickles everywhere, so I need to be super careful that I don't just shove my arm into it. But I'm going to get some in the corner, and then I'm just going to work my way along the edges, kind of leave a rounded edge a little bit, and just go until my pad runs out of chalk. I'm going to do that in each corner. All right, and there it is. That is the finished product. I'm going to take a lovely picture of this once the stickles are all dry, and hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of that sparkle. But that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was just a fun color palette, fun little, I love this little picture. But yeah. Okay, so that is it for today's day 10 of our 13 days of Halloween. We have 3 days left. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 3 days left. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are really enjoying this. Let me know in the comments if you are, if you're not, why you're not, why you are. I'd love to get feedback on this because this is definitely a long time in the making. So yeah, I'd just like to know if you guys enjoyed it, and that's it basically. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.